Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with a bad habit. Buy up, buy up. It's been a long weekend. It's been a long few days, but this ain't a long intro. Let's get it. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate all the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. So on Larry, right? Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover gets his sentence commuted and motherfuckers went crazy. Man, there was a lot of happy people in Chicago. There was a lot of brothers that were out there like, it's a GD day. It's a good day. And then there was a little fat pig from Boston, right? That lives in Florida, right? That decided for whatever reason, he was going to capitalize. He was going to capitalize off Larry Hoover's name because Larry Hoover was popping. You know, there's people that do that. They look for someone's name to be popping and their whole thing is, I'm going to expose them. I'm gonna tell you guys something you guys didn't know and don't need to know and probably don't care about, but I'm gonna do it because his name's ringing bells right now. They're trying to LL Cool J to bullshit and rock the bells, right? So 1090 Jake, and look, I've never had no hatred, no animosity, no nothing towards 1090 Jake. He's way over there in Florida, right? He's way over there exposing fucking brothers left and right. Oh man, does he love exposing a black man, right? I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. It's just something that just shivers his timbers, right? But he likes to consistently expose people in the industry and even people that were in prison. Now, I understand the expose game. I understand if you know something that no one else knows, you can't wait to tell everyone, right? But at the same time, what is the benefits of it? What does it do? What do we gain? Tell me something good. You know, you never want to tell anyone when someone achieves something or gets an award or he's a winner or he makes progress in life. No one ever cares about that. But if it's some drama, hey, guess what, man? I heard his baby mama kicked him out. Everybody's on it. No way, right? You better calm down, motherfucker, because you are one. And I'm talking about one missed Valentine's Day away from getting your ass kicked out too. Anyways, 1090 Jake decided with all the good things that were happening for Larry Hoover and his family, and man, big respects to Larry Hoover, right? A changed man, I'm sure, that 1090 Jake was going to dig way into his past and try to expose him. And what happened? Yep, Eddie Murphy, boomerang. Someone decided to expose 1090 Jake. If you're going to bring up a man's past, they're going to bring up your past, present, and your future. And unfortunately for 1090 Jake, he didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get the response that he wanted. He got the views. And I guess, hey, all money's good money, right? He got the views on the bullshit, but did he truly get the response or the reaction that he was looking for? Did he really think that all these brothers, man, that pay homage, loyalty, and respect to someone the stature of Larry Hoover was going to just let everything go because 1090 Jake said so? Shit, bro, you better be weighing a ton if you want to have some fun, man. Them brothers ain't playing. Your Chicago pass is revoked. You cannot go to Chicago, bro, and just go kick it like that because them GDs are different, allegedly. Now, I'll say this. 1090 Jake decided to do a hit piece on Larry Hoover. And, you know, let's take it back to who Larry Hoover is. For those of you that don't know, Larry Hoover is a very well-respected black man from Chicago that is in the history books, okay? There's Al Capone, there's Larry Hoover. If you understand what I'm saying, he is acknowledged as the founder and the person who kicked off the movement of the Gangster Disciples. Now, whether that's true or untrue, I don't know. That's just what they say. They be saying it a lot, though, right? Now, he got caught up on a case and was doing life in prison. He was actually doing like 60 years, 60 to 600 years. It was done. He was doing life in federal prison. And it's been a struggle. It's been a fight because a lot of people thought it was unjustified. He got railroaded because he was considered the leader allegedly, of the Gangster Disciples and the founder. He was like the equivalent of Tookie to the Crips. You know what I'm saying? And there's other dudes I can't speak on, but he was that. He was the equivalent to that, from Chicago. And people felt like the federal government stretched him out because of that, which is probably the case, man. When there's a hothead or someone that has a lot of influence, a lot of power on the streets over street gangs or anything like that, of course, anything that they can get him on, they're trying to get rid of him. They did it to Gotti. They did it to Al Capone. They did it to several other North and South guys in California, and they're definitely going to try to do it to Larry Hoover, and they did. And so it was always a struggle and a fight for him and his family to get some freedom, to get a second look, to get some get backs. And there was no end in sight of time. Right now, since being incarcerated, Larry Hoover, yes, at one point in time, yes, I'm sure he was a violent individual. You have to be as respected as he was. But even more so than violence, he was very intelligent. And his homeboys, the neighborhoods that he founded, which basically started all of Chicago's gangs, right? Pretty much. They all were loyal and showed a lot of love to this man, a lot of respect. Now, that doesn't come easily. And so just recently, President Trump decided to commute his sentence. He decided enough was enough. Larry Hoover did enough time in federal prison, so he was going to commute his sentence. Basically, he was going to get out of jail free card. But hold up, wait a minute. It's not that easy, because Larry Hoover also had state time he was looking at, the state of Illinois. So, of course, his family petitioned to the governor. People are talking, lawyers are talking in behalf of him. They're trying to get that man out. That man is an older gentleman now, someone who has claimed to have changed his ways. Albeit he does get the respect, but I don't know necessarily if he wields that sword anymore, that Conan shit, if he's as powerful as he once was. But he definitely deserves, it trips me out when people are like, oh, they should keep him forever. Unless you're a fucking weirdo, unless you're a PDF or any weird shit like that towards children or women, yes, keep your ass forever. Forever plus some. Let that motherfucker get reincarnated and catch another life sentence. Forever, forever, forever. But if not, people can change. See, them PDFs, they can't. It's a disease. It's something wrong with them. Other people can. You're a gang member. You're involved in the shenanigans when you're young. Then, of course, what happens? You get your ass in prison doing it all day, and sometime you wake up. Usually happens on your 40th birthday. You wake up, and you're like, man, I'm cool off this shit. This shit was for the birds like a motherfucker. What am I doing? You become a man. And in the midst of becoming a real life man, not just a man, but a man, or you become one. And you realize, man, I wouldn't mind getting out there, having a changed life, going out there to work, building a legacy for my family, not for my homeboys, and paying bills and things like that. You know what men do? When you're young, you're like, man, I ain't paying shit. I ain't doing shit. I ain't turning myself in. I'm out here just rocking and riding, right? You're hurting people. But when you get inside and you do it a long time and you change, you want to help your family, yourself, and other people around you. That she gets old after a while, or it should for most people, right? So Larry Hoover's changed. Trump's seen that. For whatever reason, he decided, hey, I'm going to commute a sentence. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Larry Hoover's getting right out, right? He's still got some hurdles and some obstacles, but his family's rocking with him like they've always been, and they're going to help him to make that shit be a success, to help him get out and be a changed man. Now, that still don't mean that he ain't got motherfucking respect in the hood. Them GDs love him some Larry, right? They love him some Larry Hoover because of what he stands for, the symbolism. A person who started a movement. Just like any other movement, the GDs were not started to go rob or hurt people or kill people, or nothing like that. Just like, the Norteños or the Southsiders. None of these groups were started. They were started for self-preservation, for protection, for community, to look out for their own, right? To have a place to fucking establish on a yard. And that's what they were started for. Somewhere along the line, things take a twist and they turn out bad. Michael Jackson, bad. Shit. Very bad. Breaking Bad. You know what I'm saying? Straight up Breaking Bad. Now I'll say this. Here comes along 1090J. Oh, power! A man who claims to be a blood from Florida. Okay? That he did time. And according to what people are putting out there, we're talking about a man who cut his own face, whacked himself, so he didn't have to go to a higher level yard. And there's people that literally back his claims. Oh man, that's what you do. So you cut your fucking self so you don't have a movement? Hey, look, man, I come from the old school, bro. Listen here, Browdy. Like that, you say, hey, listen here, brah, right? Wherever the fuck they send you, Spencer, that's where you got to go. You think it didn't hurt my heart when they sent me to Southern California as a norteño when I was young? Fuck, my heart was going beating like a motherfucker. But it was beating in my chest. And I was about to beat someone else's chest up. Man, I wasn't playing. I wasn't no big bad wolf. 1090 Jake, I get it. You were a skinny young, well, now you're a fat white dude, but you were a skinny young white man in a Florida prison surrounded by brothers trying to claim a black set. Yeah, it's gonna be harsh. It's gonna be a harsh reality. Now, 1090 Jake came on the scene and no one even knew who the fuck he was. He was just another person in the prison genre that did a little time in Florida. And let's be honest, he blew up because he got beat up. If you guys remember, about 5-6 years ago, he gets in a fight with Pino. He pulls up. Pino pulls up. Pino puts the dick beaters on him. And that was that. And like people were like, oh man, 1090 Jake's a real one. He fought and whatever happened. Next thing you know, this motherfucker blew up on YouTube. It's not the hardest thing to do. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's just fucking YouTube. And he used to tell his prison stories. And eventually he ran out of prison stories to tell. You can't tell many stories, man, when you didn't go nowhere or have too much interaction or have too much war stories to tell. People got bored. So he flipped the switch to the expose game where he started to expose people in the industry and gang members. And he tried to expose Larry Hoover. He tried to be a snake and a weasel and capitalize. When Larry Hoover is finally in the news for something relevant and good, there always has to be a hater or a man to tear you down. So he felt, oh man, his name's popping and buzzing. Let me expose him right now. Let me expose that in Larry Hoover's past, allegedly, and I say this with respect to Larry Hoover's family, I actually know someone who's friends with Larry Hoover's family, man. And, if I wanted, man, I'd probably make a phone call to Larry Hoover's son. Like that's how cool he is with the family. So I got a lot of respect for Larry Hoover through him. And the truth is this, right? That when someone's having a parade, there's always a fucking fat fucker from Boston that wants to rain on it. Shout out to Boston, man, but you guys know what I'm saying. The raining is real. He's trying to say that in Larry Hoover's past, there was a shooting incident where Larry Hoover got shot and that Larry Hoover gave up statements to the officer involved. Basically, he told. Now, if you really look at the real story, the dude was already in custody. So Larry Hoover definitely did not assist them in apprehending the right fella. They already had the right fella. Did he make a statement? One never knows, does one. I don't know. I wasn't the fucking cucaracha right there crawling through fucking, on the wall. But why are you now all of a sudden trying to expose that? Like, what does it get you? People are still going to fuck with them. No one's going to turn their back on them. It's not no, ooh, hey, oh man, leave Larry Hoover. What do you want him? You want him, 1090 Jake, to leave Larry Hoover in there because you feel like he ain't solid when you're over there cutting your fucking fat face so you don't have to get moved on the prison yard? Come on, bro. You really want people to believe you were just some hardcore blood thumping and knocking everyone out in prison? It don't work that way, brother. You wasn't doing that, man. I've been around white Crips, level 4 yards, solid. Shout out my boy Whack Deuce, man. I've been around some level 4 bloods, right? Umparu, white dudes, solid. Well, one of them shit his pants all the time, but he was solid though. He just had bowel movement problems, right? But that motherfucker was with the business. And you want me to believe, man, that you were just the most hardcore white dude that ever came out of Florida? If you don't stop it, start it, and stop it again, right? Stop. Because we're going to talk about you in a minute, what happened. So anyways, he started to expose Larry Hoover. And there's a lot of people that weren't feeling that, man, right? Like, let that man shine. Let that man get out. Hey, I'm going to expose him so people will turn their back on him. And what, do you want someone to do something violent to him? Or do you want people not to like him no more? Or do you want people not to respect him? Like, why do you want to expose him? Like, what do you get out of it? You got a few views, but that's about it. But now you're going to get a lot of heartache and anguish. Now there's places you can't wiggle, and GDs are everywhere. There's people that don't believe the shit you're putting out. Now I've seen Obaru. I said that 3 times already. Whack 100 did an interview with the guy who allegedly Larry Hoover made a statement on. And yeah, he said, oh yeah, it's true. He really did. Well, of course, that's to be expected. That's his enemigo. That's a dude that literally allegedly shot him in the legs or wherever. So of course he's going to have nothing good to say about Larry Hoover. Look, I'm not here to fucking defend Larry Hoover. If he made statements, he made statements. That's on him. But really, what happens next? Are you going to turn your back on him because 1090 Jake says so? Do you want me to believe that Omar was a snitch because Sosa says so? What movie is that from? Now, look, I'll say this, and this is the truth, right? 1090 Jake, there's people that you could expose in the industry for shits and giggles, fun times, for cheap times. Larry Hoover ain't one of them, man. You shouldn't be playing with the man's name like that if you're not 100% correct, Mundo. And even if you are, even if you do got the paperwork, even if all the other people in the world couldn't come across the paperwork, but you just got the connects to do it, right? You just got yourself in more trouble than you did fucking. Was the money really worth it, man? Is the clout chasing really worth it? I'm just being honest. You have to think about it. I know he has lately because everyone's going in on him. Now let's fast forward to a couple days later. Someone comes out with a video basically exposing 1090 Jake. And there's a whole lot of shit. Like I said, the cutting of the face, the claiming different sets while incarcerated. The fact that there's paperwork flowing around that he might have said something, now I'm not saying I automatically necessarily believe all that. And then I don't believe the Larry Hoover shit. I just believe the exposed game, period. It really is for nothing. I've done exposing videos. Yeah, I have. I exposed the fact that I'm a motherfucking free man, right? Look, 1090 Jake. Great channel when it comes to the prison genre, telling the stories, whether they're true or not. Okay, the difference between him and, like, say, a Wes Watson is Wes Watson's, like, with 1090 Jake, he leaves doubt there. There's a cliffhanger. Maybe, maybe not. With Wes Watson, it's maybe the fuck not. It's not even no maybe, it's just not, right? Come on, man. This motherfucker be talking about yards that I was on the level 4 over here. There ain't even no level 4 over there. Man, I was in fucking San Diego and I was over there in Donovan. It was fucking 100 degrees. They don't even get 100 degrees over there. Fuck you talking about, bro? Right? The fool be just catching himself in lies. Oh, man, I had my own key to my cell. You were in CMC? No, man, I was in Folsom. So you're the only person on God's green earth. It's because I'm white, brother. No, it's not because you're white. It's because you're stupid, right? Let me tell you right now, the white man's over there like, hey, Wood, I don't got no key. Where's my key, brother? I'm white too. Look. There's a big difference there. But my thing with 1090 Jake is why? Why now? Of course, to capitalize off Larry Hoover's name. But why are you trying to fuck them? Like, what do you expect? The expectation. See, when you expose someone, there's cause and effect. Here's some knowledge you can't get in college. The cause is what you say, why you're saying it. The effect is, what do you want? Do you want him not to get out of prison? Are you that jealous or mad? Because I've seen people, they were like, oh, why Trump's going to let Larry Hoover out, but he's not going to let Cain Velasquez. Well, listen here, dumbass. Larry Hoover was a federal prison. Trump has no say-so over the state. Believe me, he's good friends with the fucking, the UFC. Wait up, I'm all riled up. If he had action, he would have been let Cain out. Fucking stop blaming an orange dude, man. Just leave it alone. But my thing back to the 1090 is, what do you want? What do you want to happen to Larry Hoover? He's an older man with family, man. Do you want him to rot forever in prison because he's not solid? Fuck, you're solid, bro. All that, oh, man, I'm a gay. Look, 1090, you sat down with a fucking weirdo, Adam 22, bro, and did videos. Look, bro, there's no get back from that. All that solid shit, we really thug and blood. We really on the yard. We really doing this. You really sat down with a weird motherfucker, bro. You really did that. Oh, there's no paperwork on. There is. Find it. You found Larry Hoover's, right? Come on now, man. Stop it. It's selective politicking at its finest all the time. But you done try to politic on the wrong man. Do you know who on Larry? Do you know who Larry Hoover is, bro? You better do an extensive research thing on him. Because there's people that get off where they're mad at just because you even mention his name. Do you understand? Ain't no one trying to believe that bullshit, bro. But if it's real, it's real. It doesn't change nothing. His family's going to love him. He's going to have freedom. He's going to be rich in his heart. You can't take that away from a man. That's what's funny. Like with these trolls that talk shit about me, my plaque, my everything, my dick. They just talk about me constantly, right? You can't take away my freedom. You can't take away my thoughts, my lane, my zone, nothing. So when people try to expose people, I'm going to tell everyone who you really are. This is who I really am, bitch. Facts, right? That's how I feel. I'm sure Larry Hoover feels the same way. And in doing that, in doing so, what happens? 1090J gets exposed. See? Now people know that you weren't everything that you said you were. But it doesn't change. It doesn't change what I think about you. I think your channel's still cool. I think you're just a fat youngster getting it. Like, I ain't mad. Why are you so upset? You better be upset if you wiggle through Chicago. You're going to end up like motherfucking 6ix9ine pulled over by something you didn't want. You didn't see. Hey, give me your cornbread. They're going to take your cornbread. Oh, they're going to take all your cornbread. Believe that. With that being said, let me know what you think, man. I got to say respect to Larry Hoover's family, man. Again, I'm not promoting no shenanigans or bullshit. It's just crazy. That's everyone thinks that they're like the number one exposer in the world. Oh, I'm going to expose this dude's whole dirty laundry. And what happens? Their shit comes out. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Free Larry Hoover. Free Cain Velasquez. Black and brown, man. We need ours out. Free some good old Woods too, brother. Right? They like coffee. We like coffee, right? You guys can get out too. Everyone can get out, man. Ain't no doubt we're all human. But I want to say this. Make sure you guys go tap in with the collective clips. You guys forgot I had a channel over there where all the supers are popping? Don't forget, man, because it's about to get to popping today on Larry.